side you on. Yeah. Now, I don't believe that the Electoral College is what it is. Yeah. That's the law in the book, so we got to follow it. If he won on Electoral College, until that law changes, because you have people saying, like, oh, we got to write a petition so she can get in, and they can't do that. It's over. He's going to be the president. That's fake, because if Obama won the Electoral College and they tried to do that, we'd be like, yo, you're a fraud. Yeah. Right. He won. So
not to cut you off, but speaking of Electoral Colleges, because I was trying to research this prior.
Yeah, that's the real Illuminati.
But College. Now I know there's been Electoral College president. Now is the Electoral College still in effect for Congress and Senate, or is that this popular vote?
President.
This is president.
Only president. Yeah, only
president. And that's what I thought, but I wasn't, sir. I mean, I understand why they established it at the beginning by the so quote unquote forefathers, whatever. Mm-hmm. But given where we're at right now, this is like the sixth time in U.S. history where
it happened with Kerry. Kerry versus Bush.
Yeah, so it's the sixth time in U.S. history where the person who won electoral vote then won the popular vote, but is the one running the country now, essentially.
So what they're saying is they keep it. I understand both sides. I would get rid of it, but they're saying that if they got rid of it, people in rural America wouldn't have no say. The people are like, I'm going to Cali, New York, Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania, boom. If I could pull that much majority of those votes, I'm done. I don't even got to go to Des Moines, Iowa. I'm not talking to you. Yeah. I don't need you. I can't win.
Yeah.
So that's why they probably say it's like checks and balances, like because people wouldn't even campaign in those areas. Mm-hmm. Like you know how they got the primaries, and they first they go to Iowa, then the primary, then they go to New Hampshire. Because they said if you had to go start in New York and start in California and Pennsylvania, you can
just
you can get the nomination without even speaking to those people in New Hampshire or anything.
Right.
So they start off with those first and let them. But it's a weird thing. I think the system has to change, but the system never is going to change. Like Malcolm X said, this is so crazy. This dude was like,
I was reading up
so ahead of his time. He said, I don't want to hear nothing about voter registration until you get voter education. Mm-hmm. The voter is uneducated. He doesn't know anything about policy, politics, how to split his ticket. He doesn't know anything. Mm-hmm. So voting for him is irrelevant. It's like some animal pressing a button. It's like putting a dog in the room and just tap that. Mm-hmm. And they don't know anything about it. He said, so until you get voter education, they're educated on issues, educated on candidates. I'm politically astute, like I'm involved in it. Yeah. So I wanted to hear policy. Yeah. It was sad I did not hear any policy during this election. It was a lot of ad hominems, a lot of personal attacks, name calling, relationship stuff, women, family. Bad. It wasn't even about like, okay, what steps are you going to lower the taxes? How can we pull troops out of these different areas? How can we grow the economy? Are you for the Keystone Pipeline? Are you against the Keystone Pipeline? Why are you against it? How would it affect the climate change? We ain't talking about none of that stuff.
Hillary or Donald.
They didn't get into anything. It totally dumbed down.
It's like wrestling.
But it's a reflection of society.
It's like WWE.
Dumbed down. Society has been.
Society. And that's why, and we look at how Trump's style, it fits that mold, is because we're so big. Okay, what's going on with hip hop in LA? What's going on with this and that? We just consume with reality-based TV, which is not reality to begin with, but that's what, because our attention spans are just so short now. Yeah, and he fed right in, and if he's right into Trump.
Yeah.
Because you start dropping signs, dropping dollars, like, oh, you're boring me. I'm just going to say this controversial comment, and then, oh, yeah, he's right. We got to build this wall. They are rapists, with no backing.
Well, yeah, shifting to the next point. So why do you think Trump won?
Controversial statements, speaking to a demographic who felt, especially a demographic who even said, I think it was on Vice News, one of the articles, they were interviewing different hate organizations throughout the country where they said I haven't voted since the Civil Rights Act was established, but I'm voting now because I have somebody speaking to me now. And I always felt that it would come down to, middle America as far as those votes, because middle America, as far as who don't come out to vote, and now you got somebody with such a rhetoric to say, oh yeah, hell yeah, I want a wall, I want to make America great again, whatever that puts to me, right. And go from there.
That was the genius, man. He I want to say he knew what he was doing.
Exactly. He was
appealing to those people, to rural America. Mm-hmm. But I think the reason why I think Trump the white vote was like the black vote in 2008 in this election. White people thought they felt forgotten about.
Yeah.
And this is our champion. If I'm a redneck in Nevada, or I'm in rural New Jersey, rural PA, that's my he's speaking right to me. And they felt like the minority in this vote.
Oh yeah.
And they rallied.
And you notice the media always spoke about the white vote as it was dwindling, like the demographics are changing. Hispanic vote was so powerful, the black vote was so powerful, to the point where Democrats ignored the white vote. Right. He tapped into it, and they was like, you know what?
He got more of the Hispanic vote than the Democrats did.
Yeah, no. She still got the no. She still got the majority, but it wasn't that much. It was like about 60%.
30% of his Latinos spoke. In Florida, voted for him.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But we think about it, when by the time they started realizing that's why she picked Kane. She picked like the most conservative one. He speaks a little bit of Spanish. Then appeal. And by then it's like, okay, we gotta get the white vote. That's why she ended up going with Kane.
I don't know if it's all.
That's how I looked at it when she picked
They
Kane.
play like it's race. I don't know if it's all race. I think it was more so people were tired of politicians.
Well, no, I think that's part of it too.
I think the big part was politics.
You got a Wall Street person right here. You got somebody who's not, associated with Wall Street per se as far as pockets is concerned. He's already pretty much more self-funded. He spent less money, you don't have the same political backing, money backing especially. That's
why I blame the politicians, because he was saying certain points. He was crass how he said it.
Yeah.
But he was saying certain points that was like, of course I don't pay taxes. That's the laws you guys created, and your friends don't either. And all the friends, he's like, this is the most expensive audience I ever seen.
Yeah.
I know them all. They put money in your campaign because they want to keep They want you to keep the same way the books like it is. I know them all.
Yeah.
He said, you go into the black community and you say you're going to do this, and you don't see them in 4 years. They can't counter that message because when you look at it, that's what they do. And so a lot of politicians created Donald Trump. They have been so fake.
That's true.
They've been coming to your church telling you they're going to do this. You don't see them again. They frauds. They get training on how to talk and how to look, what tie to wear. He came and said, and you can tell them to go fuck themselves in D.C. That's what he said. You can tell them.
Do y'all think in some weird way that the next 4 years this might produce some type of like hybrid, non-political, social, tapped in type of candidate?
It's going.
You know what I'm saying?
And the way it is, and I think it's already shaping.
Yeah,
I think it's already shaping that way. To see if you look at the protest, because like I said, most people weren't expecting this to happen. Yeah. Ultimately, especially if you're talking about people who are educated, did not see this happening whatsoever. Right. So, and I forget who said it, but I forget who the guy said it, but it was almost like it might be a good thing that Trump does win, just in the sense that we can finally reorganize. Even if whether it's Democrat Party or not, even within the Democrat Party, to say, okay, maybe we need to start listening to outside voices, or even outside the party, and that's kind of how I feel so much against electoral colleges, because when you look at electoral colleges in general, as far as if you want to go third party, you want to go independent, it's so much harder because a lot of these is all or nothing states.
It was built to protect us in a sense.
Yeah, protect us since now,
from
but
ourselves.
Exactly, but 2016 now it's like, okay. I'm not fully right. I'm not fully left. I'm kind of in the middle with this guy here. But do I want to vote for this guy knowing there's no way he can win because he's not going to get anything towards it? Right. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like it has to be. If you're going to have electoral college, at least modify to a point where a certain percentage will go here. You didn't win the state, well, you'll get maybe a certain point or whatever. And there are a couple of states that do that, and there's the majority doesn't. And then you got some states where some electoral colleges where you might vote for A, but they might say, I'm not really feeling that. I'm going to go with B anyway, regardless of what you feel. So, I mean, there has to be some modifications that go on, but I think regardless now where we're standing here, there's going to be more organizations, there's going to be more movements to say, okay, this can't be a trend moving forward. Right. Right. Ultimately, regardless of what your affiliation, this can't be a trend moving forward.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think too, it might spiral, like you said, some other concerns. I felt like this election was like really a pivotal time in our history. When you look at our presidents, Michelle, Barack, First Lady, and all of a sudden you have Trump. and his wife, what is her
Melania.
Melania, yeah. And it's, whoa, it's like night and day. Mm-hmm. The degrees of separation are crazy.
But a part of it is, and I always said, part of it was people were upset at the establishment on both sides, Republican and Democrat. They didn't like it. Yeah. But part of it is that he wanted, the way he wanted is the epitome of white privilege.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep.
The epitome of it. No way in hell could President Obama run a campaign just like he did, and his wife be the same way Melania was, and he was sniffed that White House. It would not happen. Oh, yeah. You have to be very docile. Mm-hmm. You have to be laid back, quiet, respectful. Mm-hmm. He was telling people to F themselves. Like, first thing that stood out to me was when he said John McCain wasn't a hero because he got caught. Yeah. That usually would disqualify any person running for office. Like, you talk about the military, that you're done. Right. Disabled person. That he's making fun of him. Yeah. You know, that was. And he said he didn't really apologize for it. He's just like, he's like, kept it moving. I never saw him before, so I would just use hand gestures. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. But come on, you know what he was. He said, you got to see this guy. Why you said you got to see this guy? So you basically said, you got to see this guy. This guy is like crippled, basically. That's what you was doing.
Yeah. Right, making mockery of the dude.
And this is the thing. Everything we know. I know now. There's no safe spaces. Like, I try to tell kids like that all the time. They want their safe space in college. Don't offend me. You're hurting my feelings. You can't say that. It doesn't exist. This is the real world. Mm-hmm. You got to man up and deal with stuff. And he did it. Like, I look at it like this. Everything he did, we tell our students not to do to be successful. Mm-hmm. Right. Don't bully people. Yeah. Don't curse. Don't behave in a way that's,
Don't truly speak your mind.
Don't speak your mind. Yeah. He did it with no experience. No filter, and got the highest office in the world. Mm-hmm. This is the world. We ain't talking about this America. This is the highest office in the world, and he did it because a big factor was he's a white male. What woman could run a campaign like that and get voted in? Can't happen.
I remember, I believe it was maybe like one of the last debates they did, and Trump you could tell he kind of was running out of things to say. Yeah. So he just went in bully mode. Yeah. And
you're a nasty woman.
Yeah.
He said, you're a nasty woman.
And you could tell that he did it on purpose, and he bullied Hillary, kind of as to say, at the end of the day, do you want a woman running your country, or do you want a man? Mm-hmm. And there's no way Hillary really could beat him at that game because he is a man, and he basically kind of scared her away. And I think what we didn't say yet, let's be honest, man. A lot of people don't want a woman running this country still.
A lot of women don't.
And that's
a lot of women don't. We're not there.
I heard a lot of women say, I don't want to.
We're not there.
And even, when you look at the demographics and even statistics, I think I was in my economics class. This might have been maybe back in, I'll say maybe 06. Possibly, I was saying during the summer. I remember one economics teacher was like, you won't have a black president before you have a female president, period. Because as much as, let's say, the demographics hate black men, they don't want to have a woman first. Mm-hmm. Then we had Obama. So I almost look at it like, okay, we had a black male now. There's no way we're not going to easily have a woman coming in right after that.
Do you think?
It's like almost like a double whammy.
I was thinking about that too. I was talking that with my friend. Do you think what's more rampant in America, sexism or racism? Because if you watch the movie Lincoln, people don't know that African American males got the right to vote before women.
Absolutely.
Black males was voting and white women still were as illegal to vote.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then you see the movie Lincoln.
You took words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. They was like, are we gonna free the slaves or what's next? We're gonna let a woman be able to, they was like, oh no. We can free the slaves, but we ain't doing a woman thing now. Yeah. So I'm thinking like sexism.
I think sexism, because remember, it had to be a come on amendment, for women to vote. Granted that you have a lot of states in the South that still prevented, black males from voting, but the fact of the matter was that black males, generally speaking, if you up north, you still voting as a black male.
But think about,
sleep
on that. Like,
no, you're right.
Just the conversation to say that black men that are slaves,
that's real talk,
that were slaves once, enslaved.
Became free.
Became free, and they became to vote before my wife.
That's real talk.
Yeah, you cool, but you ain't.